Back to my channel, it's Christy here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, Libra, there is a link in the description box where you can find out your whole birth chart. And that way, for additional information for the week, you can always check out your Moon and Rising sign readings on top of your Sun sign reading today. So this is for, Libra for the week of August 22nd to 29th, sorry. I'll be using the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot for a 3-card spread today. We're looking at a central issue, the cause or influence, and then a probable outcome card, in addition to the bottom of the deck card for general energy for the week. And then as always, drawing for an additional message card from each of the Healing with the Angels Tarot and the Medicine card Tarot. So this is a general reading for your sign, Libra. Whatever is most prominent in your life, I encourage you to apply these messages to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. So what does Libra need to know? All right, so we had a little crew there. Let's get one, maximum 2 jumpers at a time. We're just looking for 3 jumper cards. What does Libra need to know? Okay, so there's another clump. I'm gonna keep shuffling, I guess for another 30 seconds or so. Let's see if we can get 3 cards out by then. All right. Nice. Okay, and the bottom of the deck energy. So let's get a little snapshot of what's going on with regard to the totality of the energies here with all 4 cards together. Libra, I'm seeing a lot of affection, a lot of joy or opportunity for happiness, joy, even celebration. You feel assisted this week. Certainly if you aren't, I think it's there is an opportunity for being assisted. So if you were to ask for assistance of any kind this week, you're probably going to meet with it fairly easily. Someone will be happy to assist you, and you're giving some thought around status and why you would be involved in performing a certain way. And I just mean on the job. I just mean when I speak about performing, I mean in the way that you accumulate income, or the way that you feel about how you accumulate income. So we're looking at issues of status. We're looking at issues of how you act when you have money or resources, as opposed to how you act when you don't. So those are some general themes about what's going on this week. Let's look at each card one by one. This is the general energy for the week. And like I said, there is cause for celebration this week. There is the happy, happy card here. So some of the major themes in here, of course, are the hummingbird, there's confetti, there is a keyhole within an egg. So there's a great deal of opportunity within, perhaps even a creative project. And then, of course, the celebratory balloons. She's dancing. She's got, like I said, streamers, and she's got flowers in her hair. So it might even just be a moment this week where you have to remind yourself to celebrate, or to give yourself a little bit of leeway. Or if you're having a troubling or upsetting or a stressful week of any kind this week, Libra, what you may have to remember is to lighten up, or to be around lighter people. Maybe it's other people who are stressed out and they're sort of, you know, pushing that onto you, or you're accepting that for some reason. You're trying to help someone out out of the good of your heart, and that's being pushed onto you. I would really put up some strict boundaries around that if you don't want to deal with that, and choose happiness this week because it is available to you. It's also a beautiful way to go about really anything, frankly, as a general energy card. It just means that you have the ability to laugh things off, problems, stress, issues. You do have the ability to do that this week, and you're probably going to be more inclined to do that this week than, if not other weeks, than you normally would. Or this is becoming a habit for you, and you just find it adds more joy to your life to do this. So you're not going to let these so-called bastards get you down. So in the central position, this represents you or the current situation or issue. And like I mentioned, we have all that glitters. So the two major themes here are, of course, this huge cachet of gold nuggets and the masks. So anytime we see masks, we're looking at issues of deception or not being honest about something. So it's just a question, and this is about riches and material wealth. So we're really just looking at how we feel about ourselves and the way that we go about earning or accumulating money, and what this means to not only us, but how we interact with others in the world. So it's about taking your own mask off. Certainly if you find yourself acting differently and you've come into a bunch of money and you don't like that about yourself, you're really going to take yourself to task for this week. On the other hand, if you like yourself more for having earned this, it doesn't have to be gold. Obviously, these could be resources. It could be housing, clothes, cars, even further advances in your earning potential. Anything having to do with monetary wealth or resources, okay? This week, Libra, we're looking at how it makes you feel and how you go about behaving in the world because of it. And I really feel like you're going to decide, especially if this is new or this is trickling in and it wasn't before, you're going to feel as though there is a balance to keep around. You don't want this destroying the, you know, the sweet, kind, giving person that you've always been. You don't want to become a hoarder, is what I'm saying. But you also have an opportunity here to up your ante about the types of people that you hang out with as well. So just remember that status, as in, you know, public, professional, status in terms of why somebody would be accepted in a certain circle and why someone wouldn't. If it's all about their income, you're not going to stand for that. You're going to have no time for that. However, if that status or standing in a community or a situation is their attitude, it's not going to matter to you one little bit how much or how little money they have. Okay? This is really about attitude, how you go about behaving in the world because you have or don't have resources and money. So I really think that you're seeing something about yourself and maybe even others, not necessarily for the first time, but you're taking it to task for the first time, maybe in a long time or ever. And you might even be surprised by this. You might even be like, oh, I expected myself to be this way, and I'd have no patience for that. Or I expected myself to be this way, and you know what? That's just the way it is, and I'm going to be happy about that. So either way this turns out for you, I think you're just going to be willing to accept it, but you're probably not going to think it's cool if people go around showing things off and it's all about money. It's going to be more important to you, for example, that people show off their kind heart, okay? Libra, I really do see that, and I'll tell you why in a second. But part of it is because of the leg up here. This is what's causing the current situation. And it's because you know things come and go. It's because you know things are impermanent. And yeah, that means poverty. And yeah, that means wealth. You also know that clinging to things isn't the way to achievement. You also know that you have to give to take and you have to take to give. So if you currently have something that someone else needs, you're probably going to give it willingly. And vice versa. If you need something, ask. I really feel like it's going to be given willingly. If someone's able to, they're going to willingly and happily provide this for you this week. Whether or not you've been there for them before. This is another way to look at the leg up card is, of course, the pay it forward, right? There is a situation here where even if someone does you a favor and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I don't know how I'll ever pay you back. And that sort of occurs to you, or you actually have that conversation. Don't think twice about it, because you will be able to pay it back, even if it's not to that one person. It's an energy, right? So consider yourself doing really well here, and then keeping a really positive attitude here. And of course, with the truth be told, another reason why I think that you're going to think it's more important that people's attitudes and hearts are more significant than their income or what they can provide even as a resource, whether or not they've been wealthy before or they are now, is because the truth, wisdom, and love are essentially more important to you. And maybe this is something so internal to you and you express it so easily that you're like, I didn't even realize this was important to me or more important than this, but it really is. It really is. Does it mean that you have to give up one to get the other? No, I firmly don't believe that. I firmly think that you can counter deception, that you can counter ignorance, and you can counter hatred, whether or not you have a burgeoning income. I really do. I think that you're going to make this more important. And I think it will also help you see into the hearts of other people. There is a curious occurrence that happens with people who come into resources, fame, money, etc. And a lot of people will say to them, for example, like, you've changed, right? And a lot of people do. But what they're saying is that you've changed in a way that I can't identify with anymore. So it's kind of a neutral statement. And maybe this is what's going on this week too. If you find that a "you've changed" statement is being made, just find out if that's neutral or if there is an assumption that comes with that. Because yeah, you're supposed to change. It's a good thing, okay? But what assumption comes with that statement? And what is that person, or if this is you expressing this, what is that amounting to? Is it a judgment call? Does it come with an assumption? Because people are supposed to change. We're supposed to evolve and grow. But how are we doing it? And I see this happening for you this week with the love and the wisdom and the truth telling, being able to take off the mask, making deception a problem, okay? Keeping deception a problem is a big deal. And it means that truth is more important to you. And it's really an endeavor that I wish that all human beings would take upon themselves, frankly, okay? So I think it's a fabulous way to go about your week. You could even have something akin to a revelation. Is that going to be capital R revelation? I'm not sure. There could be varying degrees of this for you, Libra. But certainly there could be a revelatory type of occurrence this week, or another way to look at that is like an aha moment. Maybe it's something that you've always known. This is probably what's going on. Something that you've always known or always held to be true, and you just needed confirmation of that somehow, or you're going to meet with a confirmation of that feeling or assessment this week. And like I said, you'll just be like, yeah, totally, I know how to handle that. You're gonna know how to handle the outcome of that. So really nice to see. Let's get an additional card for you here. Music. Okay, so the first thing I think of when I see music is the arts. It could even be an artistic way that you go about this, and I wouldn't be surprised, frankly. Your ruling planet is Venus after all. It is the planet of beauty, the arts, and love. Okay, so this is not surprising at all. So when I see music, yeah, this could have something to do with the musical arts. It could have something to do with how music impacts you. You could be learning or gaining information through music. But I'm more likely to read this in terms of what's going on here as a type of creative inspiration or creative output. The way that you creatively go about this week with regard to these issues, creative outcomes, creative conversations, or even your own definitive creativity. You could very physically be in process of creating something in your own life which is uniquely yours. It's significantly uniquely yours. Is that a musical endeavor or an architectural endeavor? Sure, it could be. Is it the way you go about cleaning? Is it the way you go about your favorite recipe? Yep, both of those things. Okay, your creativity is yours. It really doesn't matter what it's applied to. It's uniquely yours. You can do something uniquely creative to how I do it. And it's not better, it's not worse. It's just uniquely yours. But That's the whole point of it being yours. You've put that special touch on it, your own unique touch on it. And that's what's worth everything. That's what's worth the outcome. That's what's worth the accolades. Even if it has nothing to do with other people, it's going to be how it feels to you. It's going to feel that significantly beautiful to you. Honestly, another way to read the music card is about beauty. It's about adding beauty into the world. It's about adding love, justice, and wisdom to the world. That takes a really strong personality, in my view. Right? It really does. Do you know how easy it is to go with the flow and just go along to get along? You probably do. You've probably done it once or twice before, and it's irritated the hell out of you because you're above that. So I don't see you going along to get along this week. I see you telling the truth, assessing something that is important to you one way or the other, really doing something artistically, whether you have just begun something or are in momentum. Ask and ye shall receive this week. And of course, probable general energy for everything going on is sheer happiness. And the dolphin is manna. This is getting exactly what you want. It's really about assuming and considering the best for yourself, achieving and accepting the best. But in order to do that, you need to put a label on. You need to be able to identify what it is exactly that you want and then work to achieve that. And I see that happening for you here. This is beautiful. Very probable outcomes for artistic projects this week, Libra. And could those artistic projects include telling the truth and having civil discussions with other individuals or groups? You'd better believe it. This is a skill. It's a highly defined skill. So if that's what's going on, please keep it up. People really need to learn how to have decent, progressive conversations while remaining true to your ideology. So fantastic here. If you have a second, let me know how this works out for you. And if you're not already, subscribe to my channel because I upload videos for your sign every single week. Take good care, Libra. I will see you next time. Bye for now.